Hello everyone and welcome back. We just had our new set Sinister Order release. So obviously I've got my purple Chaos Galmon and Beelzemon playmat and two boxes to go through. We'll be opening them, seeing what we get, and then in a later video talking about the format and what to expect. So we got our first Legend pack. So this is the box topper. You get two per pack. And new to this we got egg sleeves. So this is the BT2 Blackwell Greymon and the I think it was BT11 Bagra Lord. So I personally like these. I'm actually not 100% certain how many. I think it says here actually 4 possible designs. So this is actually a really cool touch. I personally like it a lot. Great for egg sleeves, but also for crazy collectors out there who love Blackwell Greymon or Bargramon. They could go ahead and start hunting down, get a whole 50, if not more, for any broken sleeves as well. So really like this. I actually didn't know about these sleeves before, so that's pretty cool. Actually, we'll set them here. So this is an EX set, which means we're gonna get 6 SRs, and then a secret rare or an alt, and then 2 more alts. I believe was the distribution. This is as they changed it. So let's take a look. Personally, I'm not fully convinced about any of these decks in the format. If there were cards I'm looking for, it's gonna be the new reprint for the promo Skull Nightmon that's meant to be for the Twilight deck. I never got the promos, so I would like to get the promos just to have them in case I choose to play the deck at some point. Bam! Ooh, we get the Impmon. This is actually another one that I'm interested in, just because I love Impmon and you gotta look at that design. I also upgraded the camera setup that I'm using, so hopefully you see that quality in the videos. Let me know in the comments below there. But yeah, this is the starter deck Impmon. I love it. Actual full borderless alt art, unlike the 3v3 battle ones. I don't know why they gave those borders. What else did you get? We got the Mist Memory Boost. This is for all you gooners out there. I'm gonna cover that up. But for those with memory boost, it is unfortunate that we already got Mist Memory Boosts back in the Beelzemon starter deck. So they're not as exciting because it's not the first alt we're getting. I feel like it could have been a Grave Memory Boost alt. That would have been nice. Or otherwise known as the Glaive Memory Boost alt. I never understood why they did that for the naming. But yeah, we can go right ahead with the opening. So, from my personal experience, as in like my close uh, friends and local scene, they don't seem that interested in the new set, in this set. And honestly, competitively, I don't know how much it will do. Um, Time will tell, but it seems all like things that are fringe or like have a chance at winning or topping, but don't necessarily seem like they are the big threat. So just going through, we have a Balmon for the Beelzemon deck. We have Mirrormon for the new Apmon deck. A new Greymon, Flickmon for the Apmon. We have Wizard, Buffmon Sleep Mode, Damemon, Dark Knightmon, Impmon, Close for the Material deck. Speaking of, the Mineral deck is what I meant to say, sorry. Pyramidimon, and we got a new Tactimon. Yeah, so like I mentioned, I'm going to be going over the cards in more details and what they do in another video. So I'm not going to harp on it too much right here. Just going to be trying to go through the box opening as fast as possible. My personal hits that I'm looking for are the Secret Beelzemon alt. That's just because that's a very pretty card. But yeah, other than that Beelzemon, honestly, I'm probably only interested in that Quartzmon Ace. That's just because it seems just generically good. And then I'm gonna probably be messing around with Mallow because I used to mess around with Mallow back when he did a lot less. And then maybe I'll dabble in Apocalymon and Dark Masters. So speaking of Mallow, we have Myotismon right here. which I think is amazing because it has an effect that just says when it will be played by deleting one of your Digimon Myotismon in text, not name, not just name. Reduce the play cost by 4. So you get to play a level 5 for free, and it's a card that lets you pop stuff. It's actually huge for the deck. And we got a Puppetmon. These new Dark Masters have very interesting effects where they have hand main. If you don't have any other Digimon other than Dark Masters in text, you could just play it by reducing the cost by 5 and then you delete it. And then also it says when it's deleted, if you have no green face-up security card, you just place it. So I think that's pretty cool design from Bandai. We'll see how it actually like ends up being good, but essentially it's like a free recovery. By playing a level 6 body and having a strong on play. Sure, they did do decently, in my opinion, to keep it from going too crazy. Because, as in, like, being too generic, it does stop you from only having Dark Masters in text. But obviously, you can still do it on an empty board. Next, we got the Metal Greymon. Honestly, pretty good that it gives your opponent collision and starter main attacks. I think it might be good if this deck ever does anything. The inherit also uh, is another way to trash top security, so that's good. And then we got a Piedmon. Yeah, so similar to the Puppetmon I was talking about. It makes me wonder if we're ever gonna get security control back. I think as much as I hate security control as a deck and it existing, I do feel bad for control decks and control players. Like it's just it's been so bad for control. The only control decks that existed still have like sec plus 2 tons of security, like Galacticmon trashes 4 security, or all except one, maybe. Yeah, all except one, even stronger. And uh Leviamon X evos for free and has sec plus 1, sorry, plus 2 on the Leviamon X and just sec plus 1 on the Levia. Like kind of crazy stuff. So even control decks needed to be really fast. We have new Mummymon, which lets you de-digivolve, pretty useful for Myotismon. And also it has on deletion, play Myotismon in text tamer from trash. And obviously, same stipulations before can't play a tamer that you already have in name. I would have liked that to be like by number, set number instead of by name. I think that would have been better. But whatever, it's alright. We have new Astemon here. Pretty good for the hunters, except I don't think it's going to do anything again in the meta. And then, ooh, we've got a Piedmon alt art. So this is one of the first hits that we got. Let's take a closer look at that boy. Piedmon, honestly, an amazing design and amazing villain in the original. He's got what looks like a dark Choo-Choo-mon in hand. Super clean alt. Let me grab a sleeve for this real quick. Yeah, I think I'm gonna probably hunt down one of each of these Dark Master alts just to have in the binder. I already had the gold foils back in BT, I think 3. Yeah, back from BT 3. Just because they looked really nice together. But yeah, I actually also wanted to talk about this new Devimon. It has a start of main phase. If your opponent has 10 or fewer cards in their trash 2 cards from both players' deck. Then if they have 10 or more, you gain a memory. And that's the start of main. And then when attacking, you trash the top card of both players. So this is actually saying, hey, we want mill to be kind of a valid strategy to play. I don't know how successful they were in making it an actual valid strategy. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. We actually have Blastmon here. The thing I wanted to point out with this one is that the on-play one evolving, obviously it has the taunt effect to make one of your opponent's Digimon start with main phase attack. It also has all turns when Digimon attack by trashing 2 sources from this Digimon's card. This Digimon gains second plus 1 and plus 3k, and it has collision and blocker and fragment 3. This might be a niche pick for the mineral deck because the Pyramidimon is not actually that useful in terms of actually getting you to the OTK game plan, but this one might. The only issue here is that 5 cost. I don't know how. Yeah, that 5 Evo cost is pretty hefty, but it is a mineral. It has ways to trash its own sources. So you could theoretically Evo into this, trash 2 sources, gain second +1 plus 3k, means also you're less likely to die when you attack, and then you go into the new Magnet Dramon. Uh, Grab sources, unsuspend, trash security, trash sources, do fun stuff. And you're at sec +1 as well. Might make it lethal. We'll see how that goes. And we have a Machine Dramon, so the other Dark Master. Only one we haven't seen is Metal Sea Dramon yet. But yeah, they all have like similar to their previous EX showing in Dark Masters in EX5. Crazy that it was EX5. Feels like it wasn't that long ago. But yeah, similar to that showing, we have each of them having an on play and an infect. I accidentally leaked, but it was okay. It was the one on top. Yu Amano and Nene Amano. I think this is the first time that they're in the same tamer, which is crazy because they're siblings. And we got Quartzmon Ace. This is the regular art. But yeah, this is what I was talking about, where it's probably one of the other cards I'm interested in getting ult for to actually play. Not because I want to play hunters, but because just a generic level 7 green black ace seems good. And I'll play when evolving. You suspend all Digimon tamers so it can save you from being hit for lethal. You also delete one of your opponent's suspended Digimon. And then all turns other than this Digimon, no other Digimon or tamers can unsuspend in the unsuspend phase. Obviously, it is stipulated to only stop from the unsuspend phase. However, I still think that is not insignificant. That is still a decent level of control that might make it valid, especially with all the like tamers. Like think if you're up against an Imperial player, for example, then they can't strip any of your sources, and that might be significant. You'll have to do it early, maybe against those instead, but still, not an insignificant thing to have. Oh, we see new Lilithmon for the Barga army, but she is also a Demon Lord. He has an on play Digimon or Tamer, end of your turn, delete one of your Digimon. I think the really cool part about this one to note is it gives one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers, end of turn, delete one of your Digimon. What that means is, as an example, Magnamon X is protected and immune to your opponent's effects, and same with Galamon X. But if you give it to their tamer, then they still have to delete something, and if that's the only Digimon, then they have to delete it. So that one's interesting. And we got the Metal Sea Dramon, like I mentioned, as the other Dark Master. So from what I've seen, the new Apocalymon is trying to play using the Dark Master's insecurity. I don't know how good that would be, especially because you're probably only playing one a turn, but I suppose it is possible to set it up to play more than one a turn. So we'll see how that ends up panning out for the deck. We have Copipemon, Copy Paste Digimon. I never liked the Appmon personally. And we have Astamon. Yeah, like what? Copy Paste Digimon. Like, I don't understand Appmon. And then they also like they say themselves that they're not Digimon, but then it's still in the Digimon world and franchise. Personally, I kind of wish it wasn't, but it's okay. Doesn't bother me too much. It existing as long as no one tries to force it down my throat. Like if they made it so that Appmon are the only viable cards in the format, I think I might have to go on a hiatus. So we have Lilithmon here and Black War Greymon Ace. This guy is cool as always. However, the card itself seems kind of bad. I'm not gonna lie. 12k, raid, reboot, blocker, on play when evolving, delete one of your opponent's play cost 7 or lower Digimon or Tamers. Only one 7 or lower. Would have been nice to either delete both a Digimon and a Tamer that are 7 or lower each, or make it 7 or lower total play cost. That way you can like destroy uh, uh, a board with multiple small tamers to punish them. I don't know, something. And then the only other effect it has is all turns while your opponent has a Digimon with 13k or more, your opponent's Digimon effects don't affect this Digimon, and it gets plus 3k. The protection is only against Digimon effects. The condition is extremely niche, but it is funny that there was a technically infinite combo that completely breaks the game and leads to a full tie. Um, and if you're curious, that's in combination with the Lord Nightmon Ace that gives everything. It gives everything with as much or less DP as it collision, which includes your opponent's Digimon. So when this guy attacks, if your opponent goes into a Lord Knight and they have the egg, the Tumblemon egg, the I think it was one of the first ones that if you have this Digimon has blocker on the opponent's turn, give it plus 1k. What would happen is Black War Greymon would swing, Lord Nightmon, since they're both at 12k, will give it collision, and so on that attack, Lord Nightmon will then gain blocker, get plus 1k thanks to the egg, because it's now a blocker, and so now Lord Nightmon becomes 13k, Lord Nightmon Ace to be specific, becomes 13k. So now that they're 13k, Black War Greymon's effect activates to make it immune to opponent's Digimon effects, and it gets plus 3k. And since it's immune to Digimon effects and it got plus 3k, it no longer gets collision, but because it no longer has collision, Lord Nightmon Ace loses blocker, which means it loses that 1k, which means it goes back to 12k, which means he's no longer immune, which means that's a cycle that goes on infinitely and just means it's a forced tie. Kind of funny situation. I wonder if they actually do anything to stop it. It's not really useful to try to exploit because you're just going to force a tie. And you need your opponent to have Black War Greymon Ace. You need it to have no DP buffs, and you need to have your own Lord Nightmon Ace with that egg and no DP buffs other than that egg. So not really common, but kind of funny that it exists. Minumon, and we have a Puppetmon. But yeah, so other than the Quartzmon alts that I'm looking for, and maybe if we can get a Beelzemon secret alt, because that Akira looking pose is sick as hell. Yeah, other than that, other than those two cards, I'm just interested in getting playsets, so I'll probably be looking to trade or sell my alts. And I mentioned I want the Dark Masters. That's for collection. We have the new Yukio. It can give a Myotismon rush. I think that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. Finally, more ways for the deck to actually do something. Like to see that. We see a Piedmon here and a Myotismon. But yeah, other than those cards, I do just get playsets. That is why I always get 2 boxes, because it helps me get playsets of commons and commons. It gets me at 1 to 2 of every SR and 0 to 1 of every secret, and then I just pick up the rest later. I always just make an order at the start. That just gets 2 of every SR, 3 of every secret rare, and then I usually fill out the rest with the boxes and trades that I do with locals. So this is the pyramid I was talking about that I was saying is not that great in terms of the OTK because it can, when evolving when attacking, place 3 mineral rock from trash as bottom Digivolution cards. Doesn't do anything other than place them though. Then when evolving when attacking has a different effect by trashing 3 of those traits. One of your opponent's Digimon, you reduce the play cost for 2 for each card that was trashed. So this makes it so that you can pop a 10 cost using this one evolving and when attacking, plus the Sunariza, for example, inherit that pops a 4 cost. Great for control, but not good for the OTK. And we see a Blastmon under it. So kind of funny. I was talking about Blastmon being a better secondary level 6 for the deck, and it showed up right behind. Choo-choo, Progano. Yeah, so that's generally my thoughts on the set. I do like a lot of what is shown here. Ooh, finally see a Bagramon. that might do something, but it seems a bit slow. I don't know. It's really hard to tell with control decks nowadays. All control decks seem slow to me, but it might be good. It might have a chance. I don't think it's as strong as Gallantmon or Omnimon though. That's the big hurdle, right? And we got a new Lucemon as well. I wonder if the Lucemon as a deck is ever going to do anything. Oh, that reminds me actually. The other thing that we're expecting to get here, since we've honestly the first half of the box barely had any hits, uh, the other thing we're expecting to get right on time is we have the foil colored border commons and commons back. And I love that they added them not in the rare slot as well. That means that you still get the same normal amount of rares that you expect to get. They've been doing this for a while, but I just wanted to emphasize that point. So that's a great hit. And I think I might have spoiled something in this pack. Kopepmon and Black or Greymon Ace Alt. Look at the aura of this man. Let me sleeve this real quick. This Digimon. Man, you can clearly tell that he is not the same as a flower. For all you O2 fans out there. But look at the texturing. Oh, amazing. They use the flames texture for it. I don't know how much of that is coming through. An amazing rainbow on the edges. And he's all like battle worn as well. Very, very cool. Very Black War Greymon. Cool. Let's keep going. That's our second hit. I've forgotten what the hit ratios are like for alts and secrets in EX boxes because they changed it recently, and I got too accustomed to the old 3 alts and a 50-50. I do believe it's now 2 alts guaranteed and then a 50-50 on another alt or just a regular secret. So we'll see how that pans out. We have a Myotis and Belphemon Rage Mode. Got another SR. I don't know why it's taking so long to get them. Belphemon Rage Mode, honestly, a really good inclusion. A lot more of a good inclusion than the Sleep Mode because the Belphemon deck really needs to see its Belphemons, all of them. And we also get, slight spoilers, Belphemon X coming up from the next set. That makes the deck potentially even stronger, especially because it has the effect to swing without suspending, and it can evo on either sleep mode or rage mode. So that could be really good. We got a Metal Seedramon and a Machine Dramon. So we got the Dark Masters going. But yeah, I think I was talking about the decks I was gonna build as well. So for me, the decks I'm interested in building out of this, I think I mentioned the Dark Masters as a maybe. A lot of my deck building choices is actually dependent on what people at locals and like my friends are building. And that's just because I don't like playing mirror matches. I don't like playing decks that other people are playing. We got a Lymphmon here and a Venom Myotismon. Also pretty cool. It has a trash effect that lets you delete a level 5 Digimon with Myotismon and text to play it from trash. So you always have access to delete your stuff. Even better, even more amazing support. I think they actually might have cracked the Myotismon deck engine and what it needs to be good. But yeah, I don't like playing decks that other people are playing, not because uh, of just because I like variety. I also enjoy figuring out how decks work. I enjoy figuring out what the best way to play and optimize a deck is. And I feel like if someone else is doing that deck, then oh, whoa, jump scare. Greymon foil. Hell yeah. I used to alt Greymons, but not really anymore. Still really cool to see. I think it might be one of the ones that are more sought out for just because it's a Greymon, pretty generic too, in terms of its abilities. But it might be too generic nowadays. Uh, I forgot where I was. Anyway, Minumon and ooh, Metal Seedramon. Hell yeah. So I guess this kind of answers my question. Um, and I was right in what I remembered. So we have 3 alts. This does mean that there's no secret in this box. I am pretty sure we still have a chance for the SP, and we're missing like 3 SRs. I believe there's only 2 foils in a box, so we got both of those. But yeah, as I was saying, I like to figure out decks, and if someone else is figuring out, like I like them figured out. And so if someone else is figuring them out, and if it's more than one person playing a deck, then I'll usually just do something else, try to figure out something else, try to break something else. That's more what I like to do. Machine Dramon and ooh, the Mallow, which also has a trash effect to delete. In this case, 2 level 5 or higher, and it reduces the cost by 11. So you play it for only 3. I think that's really cool. It's also got pretty good effects. It's got 3 colors. What more could you ask for? I don't know why they gave it blue and red. Those colors don't really make sense. I mean, they make sense in terms of the Digimon itself has the red and the blue, the Pandemonium Flames. But in terms of the lore here, the reason it deletes 2 level 5s is because Mallow, when he showed up, he deleted the Archetypes and the Mummymon. So that's pretty cool lore. But I'm pretty sure Archetypes and Mummymon don't have blue and red in this set. Keep an eye out to try to confirm that. Skull Knightmon, Blastmon, and Narudamon. Waifu bait from the Apocalymon series. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we saw the Mummymon had purple black. I don't think I've seen a Narukenimon. But yeah, that's generally what I like to do. I still like to have playsets of all the cards because I like to be able to play any deck I want to play. And that's because I love Digimon. Uh, Digimon as an IP is one of my favorite. I have Venom Ionismon and Apocalymon. Here's the bad boy. So here's what I was mentioning earlier when it would be played by placing one of each face-up Dark Master. So you need all 4 with different names from your security under this card. Reduce the play cost by 4 for each card placed. At least this is my understanding, is that you need all 4 just because it says by placing one of each face up with different names, but it might be that you can play them actually without every single one. If you do have every single one, that's a reduction of 16, so you play him for 1. If you miss 1, then you play him for 5, so on. And then I'll play one evolving. Play one of each Dark Master trait from his sources without playing the cost. Then all your Dark Master's trait gain rush for the turn. And then at the end of the turn, delete the Digimon this effect played. So the cool thing there is if you can run a security control type deck and get yourself to the point where you have all 4 in there, what you could do is you play this bad boy out. You play out for 1 cost, mind you. You play out all of them. They all get rushed. You swing with all of them. They also have their on plays and when attacking effects to remove stuff. And then at the end of the turn, you're all getting deleted, so they're all going back into security. And then you just do it again next turn if you have a way to still turn. Oh, I see. Arcanimon is actually red. Okay. But then why did they put the blue? I'm pretty sure Mummymon was black. Right here, yeah. Mummimon's black. Maybe they should have just made Mummymon blue. But giving Mummymon Digivolve, giving the deck Digivolve, really good. And thank God we have a Lucemon Chaos mode that isn't an SR and an EX set, super expensive, or a secret rare, and a Tactimon. I do not understand what they were doing. And why they choose to make some decks super expensive for absolutely no reason. Like Mastemon, holy, they gave that deck a secret rare tamer and an SR tamer in one of the most expensive sets of the format, and 2 rares in the most expensive set of the format, that being BT11, because there were so many extra hits in that set that you ended up uh, you ended up with a lot less rares, and so rares are actually pretty expensive. So any of you looking to buy BT11 rares, you might notice that their prices are a lot higher than normal set rares or other set rares. We have Metal Greymon here and Copepmon. But yeah, like I mentioned, we did get all the hits here. So the only thing we're looking for is maybe we get a little SB here. That'd be cool. But yeah, like I think it's kind of insane. Um, what BT11 prices are. They have Astamon and Uamano. It didn't help that BT11 as a set was a huge power spike also in the format. So yeah, that's it for the first box. We've got our SRs here, and we've got our 2 foils. 6 SRs, 2 foils, 3 alts. So one of these could be a secret rare instead. We have our 2 box stoppers, Miss Memory Boost and Impmon, and we have our 2 sets of egg sleeves. So I'm going to put this aside, and we're going to get into box number 2. Yeah, getting into the second box now. I'm curious what the other sleeves are, because I think I mentioned this before, but I haven't seen that sleeves are part of the box stoppers here. So I'll take a quick peek at it right now. We got Bagramon again and Black or Greymon again. I mean, sure, why not? So much for 4 possible designs on the sleeves. So let's quickly get through the legend pack, and I want to do something fun or try something fun. Forgot to flip it around, but we do get the Demi Devi. I don't know why I said it like that. This is the BT15 one, so it searches for my Automon cards. Pretty cool. And we got the Gamamon from the LM, the evil version. Uh, Pretty cool hits in my opinion. I do like that they're actually supporting. They've given so many alt arts to heroes, hero Digimon, that I think it's really cool that we're finally getting some love for villains. Yeah, I want to do something really fun. So instead of our normal opening, I'm gonna still have to be going through the cards generally speaking, but I want to drop the last 2 here on this side, and then we'll go through, take a quick peek, see if we can find a foil, because we are still looking for those 2 foils. So yeah, this will probably be sped up, but I'll keep key points for when I'm yapping about something fun. Or whatever. And right as I say that, I think I saw, yeah, there we go. Oh, interesting. We got a Skull Knightmon into a Skull Knightmon. We got our first foil Skull Knightmon right here. But yeah, I'll see you later. I actually wanted to chat a bit about what people are feeling right now, because before this set came out, there was a lot of talk in my local scene about how they're not really looking forward to the set. There's nothing really that interests them. But then, interestingly enough, when release date actually rolls around, suddenly you hear a lot of voices pipe up. It's like, oh, I am interested in playing this. Oh, I'm interested in playing this. I'm interested in playing this. I do understand that not everyone wants everything in this. Most people want to play 1 or 2 decks that come out in a set. But isn't that more normal? But yeah, I do find that kind of interesting. I do understand, especially with the way the world is right now and how much things cost, and the fact that at least here in Canada we had price increases. I would assume US also had price increases, because I'm pretty sure we get all our product still shipped from Japan but through the US. So I think we got hit also with the price hikes when the tariffs came about. The reason I say that is because prices jumped from 130-ish Canadian dollars for a box to now it's 150-ish. Obviously plus tax too. Like, a bit unfortunate to see. I would hate to see the game die because of that. But yeah, we just did half the box, so I think it's a good time to go through. So we're gonna be expecting rare and then maybe hit. So Venom Myotismon. Ooh, we got an Apocalymon SR. We Astamon and a Quartzmon SR. Metal Greymon, Copipemon, Astamon, Unene, Minimon, Unene. Ooh, Unene. That was kind of funny. But this time we got the Unene alt art. Let me put that aside. Take a peek at that. Um, Honestly, first glance, not loving the alt art. Uh, Seems kind of basic, but I guess if you love the show, this is very much that same art style. So if you like the show and you like the art style of the show, then you'll probably like this alt. Not for me though. We will keep going. Lucemon Chaos Mode, Bagra, Lucemon, Venom, Lilith. Whoop, I missed it. Darkness, Bagra, SR. Woo. This is just the 1-star, but honestly, that's so gorgeous. I think this is like infinitely cooler than the monochrome SP that was back in BT 11. But like, look at that. I think that's really sick. I don't care enough to keep it though, but clearly this is a Twilight slash Bagra army kind of box. And Myotismon, Puppetmon, Copipemon, ooh, and Dark Nightmon. And so it's a really dark Nightmon slash Twilight slash Bagra army type of box. I mean, come on. How can you look at these hits in a box and not be like, this is made for a Twilight slash Bagra army player? Unfortunately, there is only one Twilight slash Bagra army player in our locals, and he's kind of taken a hiatus from the game. For him, obviously, you could kind of tell, given the fact that he's a Twilight slash Dark Knight player, was the main thing he played. But given that fact alone, you could kind of tell that he is a control-y style player. He likes to make sure to control your board, stop you from doing what you want to do, at least not without paying for it with some removal. But the game is just too fast, and even the control decks don't feel like control decks anymore. I wonder if he's gonna like Deucemon. But yeah, those are the cards we haven't really seen. There's like a whole bunch of SRs we haven't seen because it seems like we're getting the same SRs so far. Ooh, we got Cupimon as our foil. When any of your Digimon Lucemon in their name move from being area to battle area, trash a card in hand, draw a card, gain memory. Honestly, that's a pretty good egg for the Lucemon and what it's trying to do. But yeah, because of how much faster the game's going, it's a lot harder to stop your opponent from comboing off and doing whatever they want to do. Floodgates aren't powerful. Control isn't powerful. So he's not super loving the game right now. So from his perspective, he's just gonna like coast on the cards he already got, and then once he gets power crept out, he'll probably stop playing, or the game will pick up again and go in a better direction to what he's more interested in doing. So it is unfortunate to see that kind of thing happen, but it obviously can happen, and I think it makes sense to do. And it had nothing to do with the cost of things. It just had to do with like how much fun he was having. Like it just didn't make sense for him to spend money if he wasn't having fun, which 100% fair and valid. Like for me, I think honestly, if I wasn't doing this, if I wasn't opening boxes for the camera, I might have actually skipped this set as well. and just bought singles when the prices go down, because there's really nothing I am itching to play from this set. There are already a ton of players that play Beelzemon, for example, in our local scene. There's a ton of players that play Greymon. There's a ton of players that play um, uh, Apocalymon. Obviously, I'm over exaggerating the ton. There's overlap between them. Even like Magnetic Drawn, which is the other card I was deck that I'd be kind of interested in. And so it's kind of sad to see um, Digimon's acceleration causing this. But I do hope that we get cleaner card design. I honestly, personally, and you guys can let me know what your opinions are, but personally, I would love a rotation just to get some of these old cards out of here. Like now, there are people talking about how Myotismon has like infinite turns once it sets it up, which is like it takes forever to set up and all that. Using the old BT3 Malomyotismon. And like that's cool that an old card is useful, but the fact that it breaks something, I think I'd rather just not have that in the as an option. But yeah, let me know what you think about that. We'll keep going. Pyramidimon, Lastmon, Lucamon Chaos Mode. I was ranting about Lucamon Chaos Mode, same as Mastemon. Ooh, Black Hole Greymon, Ace. Again, SR is looking very similar. Metal Greymon, Piedmon, Menumon, Rage Mode, another one that we've seen before. Machine Dramon, Malomyotismon. This has been beat for beat. What was the last SR that we got? It was the Warudamon, right? Quartz, Black War, Apocalypse. Yeah, Waruda. Oh my god. If there's a Warudamon here, I swear. I swear. Better not. Oh no. Oh no. Not sure if you see it. Warudamon. Beat for beat, the exact same SRs and the same packs. Man. At least the box toppers were different. But man. Anyway, thank you for coming by. Look forward to hearing my thoughts about the meta. I am curious to hear your thoughts about this set and the meta overall. And what do you think about? And do you think we should start doing rotations? I personally do. But what is your opinion? Leave it in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.